Gavin. If at any time during this net you should need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word break, and the net will yield for your traffic and assist in any way we can.
I missed a tone out for this.
Metro Richmond ARES is part of the ARRL and the Virginia Section ARES program. This net meets weekly on Thursday at 1900 hours on the 145.430 repeater. The purpose of this net is for training and announcements for the amateur radio community with an emphasis on emergency communication. We ask that all participating stations follow standard net procedure that was used during an active emergency net. There is no requirement to be an ARES member. All amateurs who are within range of the computer, regardless of location or affiliation, with proper license staff, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is KF4 ESK with the Metro Richmond ARES net. Okay, so general housekeeping before we get started with check-in. This is a directive net which means the stations must be acknowledged by the NCS before proceeding with comment or discussion. One feature of this net is the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is intended to be a way to learn more about amateur radio, emergency preparedness, and general safety. So we hope that everyone will participate. We're officially in hurricane season for the Atlantic coast, so it's only fitting that the topic this week is, what are some useful items that you have at the ready for a hurricane emergency? I will be taking check-ins in two groups, mobile and portable stations, and then all other stations. When checking in, I only need your call sign phonetically and your first name. I will get your location and a received signal report when I call back for comment. If you are an ARES Skywarn or DEMCOM official, please identify yourself as such. Let's get started with check-in. Are there any mobile or portable stations wishing to check in? I need your call sign and first name. Please call now. Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike. Ron, Romeo Oscar November. Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo November Hotel. Is 4 Zulu Alpha Kilo John. This is Kilo 4 Echo X-Ray K4EXX Don. Kilo 4 Tango Juliet X-Ray. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Juliet Alpha Kenny. Alright, that all. Net control recognizes Kilo Delta Station, Foxtrot, Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo November Hotel. I did not get your name. Could you come back with your name, please? KO4RNH, Ron here.
Got two Rons tonight. Ron.
KO4RNH, Ron, thanks for that. K4ZAK, John. Kilo 4 Echo X-Ray, Don. Kilo 4 Tango Juliet X-Ray, TJ. And Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Juliet Alpha, Kenny. Are there any other mobile or portable stations wishing to check in at this time? Please call now. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Sierra Lima Alpha, Thomas. Alright, that recognizes is Whiskey 4, Romeo Tango Hotel, bye.
Net control, this is. William, Kilo 4, Alpha, Romeo, X-ray.
This is Kilowatt November 4, Whiskey Charles Golf, Nathan. Alright, that recognizes Whiskey 4, Romeo Tango Hotel, 5, Kilo 4, Alpha Romeo X-ray William, and Kilo November 4, Whiskey Charles Golf, Nathan. There was a station before RTH. Repeat your call sign and your name. I think I missed you.
Gavin, that was Jim, W4PKR.
I received, thank you for that. W4PKR Jim, first check in there. Okay, we'll now get started with your comments. When I call you for comments, please provide your location, a received signal report, and any comments. And again, today's topic is what are some useful items that you would have at the ready for a hurricane emergency. Again, our hurricane season is now, it's June 1st through November 30th, so we're getting ready to see some activity here and about. So think of some things that you would have in a go box or a kit that you would have with you. Let's get started with our portable stations. First one is Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot Mike, Ron. Just need your location and a received signal report and your comments, sir. Go ahead. This is Katie Smith, I have a volunteer. I am Western Michael. And I have my backpack has the items that were put in there when survival tray. Flashlight, two lights, space blanket, first aid kit, and that's about it, and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, Ron, thank you. Yeah, that's pretty good to have. Always have a first aid kit no matter what. Rule number one is kind of the most important. Flashlights, backup batteries, even one of those nice little crank up type flashlights with a built-in radio. Very good thing to have. So yeah, definitely a good suggestion there. Thank you, Ron, for your comments. We'll go next to Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo November Hotel. Ron, just need a received signal report and your location, please. Go ahead. KO4 RNH, Ron, King William, Virginia. And let's see, I don't really have a bug out bag, but I have a little suitcase style 2,000 watt generator, a 5,000 watt generator inverter, and a 24-foot cargo trailer that doubles as a RV with a 5,500 watt Conan generator on the front, and first aid kits and usual survival type gear. Back to that.
Gosh, I hope you brought some fuel.
Okay, Ron, yeah, that sounds better prepared than most. Wish I had an RV. Honestly, that'd be a nice little bug out thing to have. Well, especially having the built-in generator. I do have a generator in my house, but it isn't the most reliable thing. It's a very antique Generac unit, but it gets by. But definitely having a second place to go like that is really good. So thanks for your comments. And we'll move now to W4ZAK. John, your location and received signal report and your comments. Go ahead. got back that had a week's worth of medicine in it, had the first aid kit, had a flashlight, and a few other personal essentials. But I'm not planning to bug out. I'm pretty well stocked here. I've got a whole house generator, plus a portable gasoline generator, plus two RV batteries in the basement that are always stocked up. And I actually run on a 100 amp hour light battery. As far as power, I'm set. I have at least a week's worth of food, and I'm looking forward to the event in a way. So, good evening, everyone on the net. 73. Good evening, Nephew Charles. 74 is here again. 74 is EAK, and 4 EMK net control. Very good, John. Thank you for that. And yeah, I unfortunately don't have a very good supply of food. That's something I need to get on, but it's fine. So thank you for your comments, and thanks for joining the net tonight. Next we go to Kilo 4 X-ray. I'm sorry, Kilo 4 Echo X-ray X-ray. Don, your location and received signal report. Go ahead. Yes, good evening, everybody on the net. KKAA, Don, just north of Chester. The topic of the day, I don't have a generator right now. I had one in my warehouse and somebody broke it and stole it, and I never replaced it because I didn't use it that much anyway. I've got plenty of batteries, got oil lamps, I got food supply that comes in these 5-gallon square buckets. They stack on top of each other. Each bucket's good for, 3 days or 3 weeks. I've got several of those. So, I could be okay for, 2 or 3 weeks. After that, I'll have to go hunting. So, set your dreams, everybody on the net, and back to that.
Excuse me.
All right, Don, thank you for that. And yeah, food is always very important to have, especially something you get from MREs that are ready to go. That's very, very wise, very, very smart. I've heard that they don't taste all that good, but I mean, you can't complain with something with the shelf life, like that. So that's good to have. I really should get on the ball with that one. But thanks for your comments and thanks for joining the net. Next we go to Kilowatt 4 Tango Juliet X-ray. TJ, your location and received signal report in your comments, please.
This guy's been a dispatcher. He's just having transition troubles back over to amateur radio.
4 Tango Juliet X-ray. I am at Meadow Bridge and Shady Grove right now, driving back home from work. I'm reading you loud and clear. Good volume. As far as hurricane preparedness, got a couple of rays that I take with me for receiving and transmitting. Got the flashlight, chainsaw, etc. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot stockpiled, but yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Everybody on the net and substrate. Alright, TJ, thanks for that. Yeah, chainsaw is something I haven't heard yet, so having the right tools to help yourself out of a sticky situation in case felled tree or otherwise happens to you or your neighbor. Definitely having the right tools to help somebody out of that type of situation is good. So thanks for your comments and thanks for joining the net tonight. Next we go to Kilowatt Quebec 4 Papa Juliet Alpha. Kenny, your location, received signal report, and your comments, please. Thank you. This is KQ4 PJA. I am currently in Powhatan, and I read you loud and clear. As far as preparedness,
trees fall in my vicinity. So anyway, back to net control. Have a good evening, all.
All right, KQ4 PJA, K and 4 EMK with the Richmond ARES net. Thank you for those comments, Kenny. And yes, an off-grid solar power generator. That's actually a very smart idea. I should get one of those. It'd be nifty to have around. You never know. Maybe the generator just won't give you what you want when you need it the most. So that's very, very smart. Next we have on the list is Kilowatt Quebec 4 Sierra Lima Alpha. Comment your location and receive signal report and your comments. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, KQ4 SLA comments from Mechanicsville. You're coming in loud and clear, sounds good as usual. As far as preparedness goes, a lot of the general things that folks have already spoke with, I try to keep at a minimum of about 3 days of food and water. We're a family of 4, so that's a lot of stuff to keep. We don't have a huge house and a lot of storage, so we have to be mindful of that. But got a chainsaw, flashlights, a bunch of extra radios.
KQ4 SLA, K4 EMK. Yeah, having extra radios is also a good thing. A lot of people kind of rely on a single radio to take with them, and if you're like me, you have a bunch of antique ones that just have probably outlived their usefulness 30 years ago, and maybe that battery isn't doing so hot. So having a newer radio or just something that you can rely on times 2 would be a great idea. So extra communications equipment for sure. All right, so now we'll move on to our general stations. We'll start with Whiskey 4, Papa Kilo Romeo. Jim, your location and your received signal reports. Your comments, sir.
And 4 EMK group. This is W4PKR Western Henrico. I'm reading you loud and clear. This is Jim and Juliet, Mike, and Gavin. You're doing a good job tonight. As far as the topic of the day, I'm sort of middling. I live in an apartment, so I can't have standby generators or anything like that. And I'm not complaining. I prefer apartment living. I have a 30 amp hour battery pack. I have also a car booster. Actually, I have 2 of those. One's very compact, and one is one of those big things you lug around. Big red and black handles things on them. But I can operate batteries, recharge HDs, run this rig that I'm talking to you on now, which is a mobile rig on a desktop, and charge your phone, things like that for a few days. I bought a camping stove, a small dual burner camping stove with a couple of canisters of propane, so I conceivably could cook. I haven't tried it yet. I really should just do that. So I got a bunch of soups and things. I've got a small first aid kit. I've got one in the car, and I keep a couple of 2-3 bottles of water, gallons of water in the closet or in the kitchen. Live by myself, so I don't need to replenish a family or pets or anything like that. So that's about. I do have a couple of 2 HDs, actually, VA 2 HDs. Flashlights, and one thing that's very handy is a lantern, with a handle on it that I have that runs off C battery. With that, I'll turn it back to KN4 EMK in the group. This is W4PKR.
All right, W4PKR. This is KN4 EMK with the Richmond ARES net. Thank you for those comments. And yes, honestly, that's something I didn't think of. I don't have any sort of camping cooking gear. I have, cast iron cookware, which got me thinking I should probably hit up that pro shop later and get some of that. So that's a great idea. Glad you have that on hand. Next on my list is Whiskey 4 Romeo Tango Hotel. Bob, your location and a routine signal report. Go ahead and comment.
I had to think about the electric fireplace.
Good evening, Gavin, and everyone on the net. I'm located in central Hanover, and you're loud and clear. And, yeah, I've got a full home generator also, so really I don't plan on leaving unless Astro they have to. I got plenty of food here on hand, I got plenty of extra medicine, and, I got a 500-gallon propane tank out back that stays pretty full. So I guess I've got enough to electricity around here for at least a few weeks. And then I also have a sling bag in case I have to leave with a leather tool in it, a flashlight, a pen, pad, first aid kit, a cord for my cell phone, plug for the wall for the cell phone, and then the truck I have a tool pouch with plenty of tools in it and a bigger first aid kit. So anyway, that's about it that I've got around here for emergency preparedness. So anyway, back over to net control, W4RTA.
W4 RTA, yeah, for you today. Bob, you seem that you're more prepared than most. You've got a lot of backups there to backup, so that's excellent. Yeah, having a full tank of fuel is always helpful, especially for the house. If most of your appliances run off the gas, you'll be living better than most of us while we're living in the dark for 2 weeks until the nation gets their stuff together. But they work hard during the season, so I gotta give them props. The longest I've ever been without electricity during hurricane season is about a week. And that's not that long, considering some people in other parts of the state have gone much longer. It's always good to have that backup,
Pardon me.
just in case something goes down. But thank you, Bob, for your comments. Thank you for joining the net tonight. Next we go to Kilowatt 4, Alpha Romeo X-Ray. William, your location and receive
2 syllables, not 3. Net control, K4 ARX here, William, Chaco Valley, just east of downtown Richmond, right across the interstate from the hospital. That's one of the things there. We don't have far to go. I think if something goes this way as far as coming up the coast, we would probably just go up a few floors, probably hang out in the clubhouse. That's on the top floor, and it faces west anyways. If anything happens, we're pretty good right here. Most important thing that we've got is not only 1 wheelchair, but 2 wheelchairs. So if something happens to one, we've got a spare. And always toss a pack on the back of that and maybe one in her lap, and up we go to the top. Or if a worst case scenario, we can go across there to the hospital and hang out in one of the waiting areas until, whatever. So we're pretty well set up here. K4 ARX. Y'all don't need to know what I've got here in my apartment.
K4 ARX, stand for you today. It's a very good idea to have a place to go in case you don't have supplies or a lot of things to take with you, like you don't have a go bag. So definitely having a plan on going someplace or having a place to go is a good alternative if you don't have the means to be prepared. And not saying that you aren't. I know you have some gear with you, but some people just aren't ready.
Yeah.
So having a place to go is a great alternative, knowing where you can be safe, especially down in the city, prone to flooding, and especially Chaco Bottom. We all know that.
We're in the flood zone.
Very good plan, very good idea. Next on the list is Kilowatt November 4 with Charles Gall. Nathan.
Hey, coffee.
Your location, receive signal port, and your comment.
Good evening, Gavin. This is Kilowatt November 4 with Charles Golf, Nathan. I'm in Eastern Mechanicsville. I have you loud and clear on my end. And I just want to say great job on the net tonight. You're doing great. Keep it up. I have a lot of the same material that most people previously have mentioned, but I just want to throw a few extra things in there that I haven't heard yet. One of the things that we always keep on hand is some bottled water. If a good source of clean water for a while. And something I haven't heard yet was a fire extinguisher. So hopefully everyone remembers to keep a fire extinguisher on hand. And then also have my
water, because, I don't think the water that's falling from the sky really counts. Um, so have some of that in. Alright, we've reached the bottom of the list, so I'm gonna call out for some additional check-ins. Any stations anywhere that would, like to check into the Richmond ARES net. Go ahead and do so now. This is KN4 ENK.
Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot, Mark is
That recognizes Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot. Mark and went out. Any other stations wishing to call into the Richmond ARES net? Go ahead. I was gonna call that nothing heard. Alright, we'll go to K4NES. Mark, tonight's topic is any items that you would have at the ready for hurricane
That too.
season. Anything at all. Also give me your signal for any location. Go ahead.
Good evening, guys. Location is Glen Allen, Virginia, out there with me. Actually outside as far as preparedness, I'm in camper, so I have a camper with propane that I can cook. We have water on it. Try to go somewhere every other week. Hot water, shower, everything is there. So get them full a little bit. I also have a couple of generators, solar panels, do have a go bag, and do have fire extinguishers, along with some, different water bottles, things like that. What have we got?
Sounds like tag.
Outside of that, I think that's about it. I will go ahead and turn it back over to net control, which is Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo, Foxtrot.
Oh, KQ4MEF.
Alright, thank you for NES. KN4 ENK with the Richmond ARES net. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the comments. And yeah, I do have a tiny little go bag, just like that. But camping gear is always great to have. It seems to be everyone's go-to, except for mine. Like I said, I only have cast iron cookware. That's about as campy as I get. But it's always good to have on hand. It's very robust, lasts long, and generally very portable. And that's essential in case you get a really bad storm. Hopefully you don't, and nobody gets uprooted. But in the event that it does happen, there's been incidents. We're ready, and it won't be too cumbersome to take with it. So very good. We've reached the bottom of the hour and bottom of the list, so I'm going to open it up to check in any other stations which check the ARES net, the Richmond ARES net. Please call now. This is KN4 ENK. This is November 4, Hotel Delta Foxtrot, Doug and Ron. That recognizes November for Hotel Delta Foxtrot. Doug, your location is Drina and receive signal report and your comments, please. Good evening, everybody on the net. Gavin's doing a good job. Back off the mic a little bit, you're not spattering as much. You sound very good. Doing a good job.
Receiving is full quiet from the repeater. Your signal in the repeater is full quiet as well. So my plan for a weather disaster is to be shelter in place. I've got a 7K inverter type generator that'll run it well. We're on well water. So I've got water and sanitary facilities for that. Refrigerator and chest freezer with food, that sort of stuff. Fuel for the generator. I've got a truck with a winch, tractor with a grapple, a backhoe. So if we need to dig out of the neighborhood, I've got something I can dig out of the neighborhood with. Let's see. Oh, I've got stock in Milwaukee floodlights and batteries. That also will power my chainsaw. And I have a LP gas camping stove so we can cook. So hopefully, like everyone else, we won't have to worry with this stuff. I think Virginia Power is going to be putting power underground this year, so that's always a good thing. So that's all we have here. I'll turn it back over to that 7371. Have a good evening. November 4 Hotel Delta Foxtrot.
Alright, yes, AS4 today. Sounds like you're very well prepared. Matter of fact, if the situation happens where I need to bug out somewhere, I think I'm going to go. So yeah, you got a lot going on for you there, especially with Tucker to win. You never know when that thing might actually come in handy. Because I certainly wouldn't be able to pull anything with my truck, so I don't have any of it. I do have some large trees around here, and there is one that's leaning towards my property that my neighbor's yard might be in the community zone. So, who knows, maybe this is the year finally. If I didn't have a win, might be out of luck. But let's just take a look. Alright, we've reached the bottom of the list again, so I'm going to start with an announcement. Other local areas in for income nets are called during the week. So during the week, on Monday night at 1900 hours, the Power 10 Aries net on the 147.315 repeater with a positive offset of PL of 74.4 hertz. Also on Monday night, the Houston County Income net at 2000 hours on the 147.270 repeater with a positive offset. PL of 203.5. On Tuesday night, the Dinwiddie County Aries net at 2000 hours on the 147.390 repeater with a positive offset and a PL of 74.4 hertz.
None of that negative stuff.
Also on Tuesday night, the Chesterfield Aries net at 2100 hours and is followed by David, Kilowatt November 4, Lima, Quebec, November on 147.360 repeater with a positive offset and does not require a net. Take a break. Also on Tuesday, check into the Chesterfield County Aries WinLink net. More information is available at the ChesterfieldAries.us website. On Wednesday, all day long, you can check into the WinLink Wednesday net by sending a WinLink message to David, KN4LQN at winlink.org. Again, that's KN4LQN at winlink.org. Also on Wednesday nights at 1900 hours, Tri-City Income net needs on the 147.390 repeater with a positive offset and a field tone of 74.4 hertz. This is Kilo November for Echo Mike Kilo with the Richmond Aries net. I'm going to make one last call for check-in. This is KN4EMK. Any final check-ins for the Richmond Metro Aries net. Go ahead with your call sign first and your name.
Bitty. That's all, folks.
Alright, with nothing heard, I will now proceed to close this net. Before I do, I would like to thank all the stations who participated and the stations that stood by to give us the time to
K4 ARX.
WA4MC 220 repeater system.
Hey, thanks for you guys to stand for anything.
I like that system. K4 and K4 ARX.
ARX, stand for anything that.
Hey, earlier today I spoke with KQ4 RMV, I believe it was. Let's see if I can find it here. Anyways, I spoke with him. There it is, KO4 RMV. It was PJ. He picked up a 900 megahertz radio, and we were talking through the other system over there. I came in on the 224 520 machine, and he came through on the 927 050. And a pretty neat little setup there. A little envious of him now.
900 megahertz. Honestly, I did think there was a whole lot of activity over there. But then again, I don't have a 900 megahertz radio to listen in, so I guess if it's that active, maybe I might steal a little scanner and listen in to what's going on over there. I mean, is it just general rag shoes, simple as that, or did they do any like sort of nets over on that?
I'm not sure if there's nets on that particular system. I looked at it earlier today. It is a link system. It's 220, 927, and 1282 is the other repeater. And there are two 900 megahertz machines in the area. I think they're both south of the river there, but don't quite remember off the top of my head. But pretty neat little system set up there, and it's all hooked together. And we had a blast. It'd be nice to have a 1.2 gig radio also. You got to read up on that repeater, or those repeaters actually, because of how they're set up. It's pretty neat, probably right up your alley.
Yeah, I know I had at one point, I know I could have bought a 900 megahertz EV Orion mobile for like $10 on eBay. I was eyeballing it for a long time, but of course, like I said earlier, I have way too many old radios that just, they've already outlived their usefulness. And
See that light?
One of those things where I already have it, and I don't use it. But it's been another like paperweight somewhere in the shed that I haven't been able to find a place where I can live. But maybe I'll get into it.
Yeah, I don't think they take up a lot of space. They're no bigger than anything else. Scanners you need, I've got them. But as far as that goes, it's kind of neat there. It kind of involves Kenwood TK 780 or 790H. I forget. It's on the internet in the description there, but it's all kind of worked together. It comes out on 1282. It's pretty neat in the 927 050 or the 927 075. But he's got it set up, and we had a good conversation for a while today. And he didn't realize I was on 220, but I was using the old Baofeng here, and it seemed to work out pretty good. I also I didn't talk to him personally. I listened to N4MW, and I think he was one of the guys that helped set that up some time ago. Some changes. It's listed as ATCO 25 and DMR, but I don't know if it's still that way or not.
Yes, the TK690s. I know those. Matter of fact, when I was still at the radio shop in Hanover County, there were still a few of those radios kind of floating around in some of the sheriff's office vehicles. Usually they were in the Crown Vic because they tend to be rather large in size, and they were usually remote mounts, so they would slap the radio in the trunk somewhere,
Right.
usually right up against the wall, and run the really crazily oversized control cable from that to the head unit. And they looked cool. I loved the build of those. This is probably one of the few radios that rivaled the Motorola build quality. They were solid radios. And then they stopped buying the TK790s and the other ones, and they went to the 60, the TK6110, the little tiny one. that good. They constantly came back. They used it primarily for surge, which is low band, and they broke more than they ever used them anyway. Pay it for you.
Well, I thought you might find that a little interesting there. We had fun with it again, and a little test there. Yeah, kind of left the radio on today. I think I heard it first on one of the receivers, and it came back to him with the 220 machine, and that was kind of much, the gist of the conversation there. He spoke with Dave in for MW for a while, and got a little more history that way. And I read up on it today. It's pretty cool little system set up there, and for now, I can talk to it on the 220, but I can also listen to the others on the receivers as well. So I don't miss out on much, and haven't heard a lot of the other guys on there. Just a couple of guys, and I always hear the ID. So it's there. It's just not necessarily in use. Anyhow, it's one of those things you could use while we're running nets on this machine and the others in times of emergencies. There's always a place to talk, even if something's going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do need to get some more scanners though. I only have one that's usable. The other ones are like antique 1970s crystal scanners that it's just you can't use them anymore. There's barely anybody around here that still broadcasts on analog, so I do need to get back to scanning. But most of the departments around here are all encrypted, naturally. But there's still a few that are transmitting clear. But with those Radio Shack ones that you got, what is it, the Pro
2006.
The Pro 113? Those ones are really nice. I've seen those years ago as a kid when they were still in Radio Shack. God, I miss Radio Shack so much.
We all do.
Spent so many hours in there. But anyway, I digress. I do need to buy a couple more receivers just so I can have them. Because I am quite limited on my capacity here. Mostly just 2 meters. That's it.
If you ever decide to come around again, I could set you up. Even the old patrolman's there, if you decided to do so. It's, of course, everybody that's advertised for has moved on to encryption and whatnot. We all know those aren't specifically, dedicated police radios. They never really were. It's just marketing. But you can still buy crystals for them, depending on how much you want to spend. They're anywhere between $5 and $10 a piece. So, do the math: 8, 10, 16, 20 channels. That's how expensive it gets. And there are things to listen to, of course. You know that. But that just depends on where you want to dedicate that radio to.
Yeah, I still have a couple of analog screens sitting in the shed. One of them, I know I have a very annoying channel programmed into it. I think it's Yellow Cab. I don't know, but the dispatcher is extremely annoying. They scream into the microphone every single time they dispatch.
Really?
But I know it's a taxi corporation because they call out fares and whatnot, pickups, and they're always at the airport. So I think it's Yellow Cab. But if you ever listen to it, I think the frequency is like 156 something. I have to look. It's like 156 700. Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. But that's basically the only signal I've been able to pick up on a search around here, and everything else is dead. But I do occasionally listen into the airband on one of the scanners in there. I'm fairly close to the airport that I can pick up some of the ATC traffic, and that's always interesting to listen to.
Yeah, I thought you liked the subjects there. I just wanted to share what happened today and had lots of fun. And you could always just do those things and get it together. Extra antenna. You don't necessarily need an outside antenna because, I do it all the time. But at any rate, your location would be much better than mine as far as that goes. And I think it'd be something fun to do. You don't even have something or have to have something as large as the 2006, which is 400 channels, but it's helpful to have so you can cram all those services in there. Or an extra receiver in case one stops on one frequency Another one continues scanning, and it can stop on another, and kind of several different conversations at once. If you want to handle that, you really won't miss anything. KN4EMK from K4ARX.
Yes, sir. Give me a few minutes here. I got to finish up the report for the net and send that off to Randy. That way I don't, get yelled at for my first net. I'll be back with the KN4.
That's fine. I'll be listening. K4ARX. Nice first net. I missed one check-in. I'm going to have to go back and find it, but I'll post it anyway. So hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And thanks for coming around as usual. If you couldn't hear yourself on this radio, it was setting number 8. Sometimes I run it at setting 10 on the volume. If you can't hear yourself, it is your fault because you don't talk loud enough. And that seems to be a common issue with the net and using these repeaters. They just kind of either talk with the microphone way away or they're up on it, but they kind of whisper. And it's kind of hard. So you get the idea. Speak up. You're going to do this. You want to be heard. You got to speak up. So common sense, I guess. See ya.